I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome to yet another episode of Love and Life at our new time and on our new schedule. I love it. I love it. You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, I'm so excited to spend this time with you. I'm so excited to be here with you. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, number one. So thank you for that. And thank you to the wonderful and amazing Miss Kayla J, who's joining me, who is obliging me. I must tell you all, she's obliging me by helping me out. So thank you to her and the ethers out there. You know what I like to do, family. For those of you who are familiar with the show, you know what I like to do. I like to check in. I like to see how you're doing. I like to see, how things are coming along. Now that we can talk with one another. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about that. Now that we can do so, we can actually talk with one another. I am going to encourage you to call me. Yeah, that's right. Call me. I know, right? Call me at 215-634-8065, or you can call me toll free at 1-866-361-0900 so we can talk, because that's what we do here on Love and Life. We talk about a little bit, well, sometimes a lot of bit of everything. I'm going to say to you now, feel free to let me know how things are going with and for you. For those of you whose light is shining just a little dimly, I'm sending you some extra love, okay? Because, sometimes we need that. I know I do. And if you want to talk about it, you already know what you can do. You can call us and we can all talk about it. And you know what? We'll all be better for it. How about that? For our family members on our socials, oh my goodness, we're sending love to you. Hi, Nasir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you as well. I must say, it is a pleasure to actually be able to communicate with you all in this space. I've said it, I don't know how many times. I come to you with full transparency. You see, well, today I added a little lipstick. I was trying to give a little pop, But I thought I would, come and just say hi first before we get into some things, and show you some love and invite you to share some as well. Hi there, Joseph. Peace. Blessings to you as well. And thank you for the congrats on the new time slot. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to come to South Florida to perform as well. Joseph is communicating with us on our socials, as is Nasir. Our family members are alive and well and popping and talking to us. And I love it. You hear me? I love it. And I love all of you. So, on the show, what we typically do is we have a guest spend some time with us. And because today is Love and Life's first day in our new time slot, I thought, why not just spend just a moment, just you and I first, so we could say hey. For those family members who are new to me, I want to get to know you a little better. And for those family members that, I just haven't communicated with in some time, just have us share a minute. Hey there, Sheena. Hi. Sheena. Oh my goodness, I haven't talked with some of you in such a long while, but it's so good to see you here. You know what, y'all? Y'all know I'm nothing but one big teardrop. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Well, anyway, let me share with you. So I did bring a guest. I was telling you that, we typically have a guest on the show, and I brought a friend of mine to hang out with us on our very first show. He's no stranger to the show. He's been here before. He's talked with us about love, about life, about everything in between, good, bad, and indifferent. And he said, you know what? I would be honored to come and spend some time with you on your first episode in your new time slot. OMG. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, I'll let you know. He is one of the most influential stand-up comedians. I mean, really. He's an actor. He's a writer. He's credited with having written for TV shows, including the 36th annual NAACP Image Awards. Okay. And he has a host of other accomplishments that, we'll get him to talk about. How about that? Without further ado, though, because I know y'all don't want to hear me talk for 2 hours, not by myself, I introduce none other than Mr. Terry Hodges. How are you, Terry?
Hey, how you doing? You sound fantastic.
Well, you talk to me all the time. What are you talking about? You
Very, very, very professional.
Oh, I sound professional. So, family, when I talk to Terry on the phone, of course, that's what he's saying right now. I don't sound professional. I don't sound. How do I
Oh
sound when
no,
I
no.
talk to you?
You see me with these fake Malcolm X glasses?
Is that what they're fake
Yeah, I'm
Malcolm
trying to
X
act like
glasses?
I'm there. Plymouth Rock did not last on us. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh my Lord. This is what happens when I talk to Terry. This is what happens. So, Terry, what's been going on with you? I know, what's been going on with you. How have you
Yeah,
been?
just working, enjoying life, like you say, being able to get out and travel and see people and touch people and talk to people after the last 2.5 years that we've had. It's been a blessing just to be able to breathe.
I know, hasn't it? I mean, seriously, when you
Yeah.
say that, that's a big statement. It's
It's
a
a
big
huge
statement.
statement.
Yes, yes. And I
Yes.
tell you, for me, it's so big because I was slow to it. I was a little apprehensive. I was terrified at first. I'll say that when the world started opening slowly. I was
Hmm.
terrified to get out there. As somebody just reminded me the other day, she was saying, "Yeah, I remember when I invited you to something and you said, no, I'm not coming out yet." I would
Well, glad you didn't.
listen. Well, I mean, have you heard that there are a lot of people getting ill now with COVID again? Have you heard that?
Yes, I've heard that. Also heard that a lot of people are having um, with the shot having difficulty with the shot. You
A lot of
know,
people, the
yeah,
vaccination.
yeah, the vaccination. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's. I don't think it's going to ever really go away. It's kind of like the flu. The flu never went away. The flu is the flu, and COVID is COVID. I think that in life, like everything, we just learn to live with it.
Oof, this is a lot to live with, Terry. This is a
Yeah,
lot.
it is. It is. I think what's even more important now that we have to pay attention to is the effect of the economics that COVID did when everything now
Mm,
is twice and three times the price that it was 2.5 years ago.
let
And
me
that's
tell
a
you
whole other
something.
academic.
Listen, yeah, that's another, and it's a yeah, that's a pandemic all in and of itself. You are so
Right,
right about that. Yeah, well, you and I have talked about that, and we were
right.
talking about how at first when there were people who were posting that the price of food was going to change, and then there were naysayers saying they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're, but now we're living it, we're seeing it, we're living it, and we're having
And
that full on experience with it.
it kind of, I saw it. I was in New Orleans about 2 years ago, and I was on Canal Street, which is downtown New Orleans. And the
Mm-hmm.
Ritz-Carlton, the Sheraton, all of the hotels was closed. The French Quarters was closed. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to say to yourself, okay, if all of this is closed and they're not making money, how are they going to generate and get that money back? And that's what they
Mm-hmm.
would. So what happened is, I think the room cost me $143. I went back the following year to the Essence Festival. It was $472 for the same room that I had just paid a year ago for 400. I mean, for 147 dollars. So everything
Wow.
quadrupled. Everything food, everything quadrupled due to COVID. All of the money that they lost. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
understand
Mm-hmm.
another thing. A lot of shipments couldn't get in, food, clothes, especially clothing, from Italy all over the world. So a lot of that stuff sat and people lost money because they couldn't get
Mm-hmm.
into the stores and they couldn't get the shipments in and all of that kind of stuff. So now they thought they charging triple price
Yeah.
for the loss that they had, which is unfair to the consumer.
Are you kidding me? Of course it is. But I mean, we're noticing that I mean, across the board as it
Right.
pertains to everything, as you said, not just as, with travel, lodging, food. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. Family, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to and are watching Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. I am talking with none other than my good friend, Terry Hodges. He obliged me and said, yeah, I'll join you. I'll join you because I thought it would be a good idea for, us to just have a first show where I get to know you a little better. You get to know us a little better. And, we have some company while we do so. Joey Dixon is joining us on our socials. Hey there, Joey, on Facebook. Peace, 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 and love to each and everybody who is spending some time with us right now. Terry, we actually have a caller, but after our caller, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little more about you for those of our family members who are unfamiliar, so they
Right.
can get to know you a little better too. We have a caller. I'm going to take our caller now, if that's all right. We are going to do that in a second. How about we not do that just now? We were going to do that, but if you want to call us, and I promise you we'll have it all together in just a moment, you can do so as well. You can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900 so we can get to know you a little better. I know, Terry, how about this? I'll ask you to fill our family members on a little bit about who you are and where you come from, for those who are unfamiliar.
Well, I come from Pontiac, Michigan.
What?
Um, Pontiac, Michigan, Motown, right? 25 miles down the street, which was a great time growing up back in those days. That's when Motown, because I'm old, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old.
Oh.
But when you look back, I was thinking about this the other day about my hometown, my home state. Growing up and listening to the Temptation, Four Tops, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and that neighborhood. And I was thinking about how important music was then, even now, but those love songs was the soundtrack of our lives.
Oh,
When
absolutely.
they constantly singing about when they type singing about love and Marvin Gaye and the Four Tops singing about Bernadette and Smokey, Tears of a Clown. Those we got our rap. We would listen to those songs and take notes from those songs and try to talk to the girls back in the
Wait,
day. But the
wait.
beauty of Motown, and especially artists such as Marvin Gaye, they were all in the neighborhood back then. It wasn't nothing to see them walking down the street, or they were in the neighborhood. And
You talking
you
about
don't see that
Smokey?
nowadays.
Were you talking
So
about
I'm talking about
Smokey?
Smokey, the Supreme, Smokey, the Supremes. Marvin Gaye had a reputation of just going to a regular park and playing basketball with just regular people.
I never
He
heard
was
that.
known for that, huh? Oh
I
yeah,
never
he was
heard that.
known for that. Yeah, he was known for that. The Four Tops. One of the great things I loved about the Four Tops that I don't think people realize, they are the only group. that I know of that had the exact same memories to the exact till one of them passed away. They never had different memories from the very beginning. From the very beginning, Levi Stubbs was the
Uh-huh.
lead singer, of course,
Mhm.
and they had the exact four tops from the very beginning to the very end. The only time one was replaced was if one passed away. And Duke is the
Mm.
only one that's living now. But Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, even though Aretha wasn't with Motown, but they
Uh-huh.
all
I was
grew
about
up. We all grew up 20 miles in radius of each other.
really?
Yeah, and every year at the
Wow.
Fox, every year at the Fox Theater in Detroit, they would have the Motown Review. And I mean, it was off the. I mean, think about it. I'm like 10, 11 years old going to see this.
See, now that's what you call a gift. A gift. Terry,
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you to pause for a moment because I want to see if we can get our caller to talk to us right now. Is our caller still there? Hello there. I am unable to hear our caller. I'm almost certain that our caller is talking with us. I believe so, but until I am able to hear our caller, I'm going to continue talking with you and encouraging you to share some love with us. I know that you are there, in the on the line waiting to talk with us, and I want to talk with you too. But unless and until we can, we're just going to keep trying to make that connection. Craig, how are you? Craig Williams joining us on Facebook. Family, I cannot express to you how good it feels to know that you all are spending some time with us, sharing some love, some energy, some spirit. It's such a good thing. I really cannot stress to you enough and have you understand just how good it feels. I know some of you were telling us that, trying to stay up until midnight to spend some time with us was challenging at was challenging at the very least. So now that we get to spend some time with you at an earlier time slot, it feels good to me, and I hope that it feels good to you as well. Craig said, yeah, he was, see that? Craig said he was sleepy. Craig Williams, who was joining us on Facebook, said, yeah, he was sleepy at midnight, and it was hard for him to try to join us. I want to say one thing that I did not say in my intro to the show. I want to make you all aware that I talk to Donovan all the time, and Donovan says hello. He sends his love. He says, listen, he misses spending time with us, but he still has love for everybody, and he wants you all to know that he loves and misses you. Miss Kayla, whenever there is an opportunity for us to talk with our caller, I would love to hear from whomever is on the line. But Terry, you were telling us about these magnificent times you had in Pontiac, Michigan, down the
yeah,
street
we,
from Motown. I mean, being
yes.
able to see all the great Smokey and Aretha and all of this good stuff.
Yeah,
You were
no, go
about to
ahead.
say something. Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah,
Well, actually, you know what we're going to do? This is what we'll do, because there's so much going on right now, family. There's so much. I'll tell you that much. We have to go to a break, but I want you to know that the phone lines are open. So feel free to comment on Word TV. Feel free to continue joining us on our socials as well. You are listening to and are watching Love and Life at wordradio.com. You're watching Love and Life on Word. You hear me? Progressive Black Talk Media on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We will be right back.
went right by, you know? Well, we can still discuss voting this. Never forget that. Or we can take down the Christmas tree or shovel snow. But right now it's a little warmer. I don't know about that. Some people already have their calendars out. They circle important dates like birthdays and anniversaries and Valentine's Day and special holidays. Let's get ready to do something marvelous, going to a gym or taking Zoom, stretching right at home. Just stretch in the chair, but do it right. Let's complete the book we have been working on. Let's decide to lose weight. It's 2023. Oh, 2024 will be here soon.
WURD Radio is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older. Depending on the contest, persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employee are ineligible to win prizes. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. We are joined this evening by none other than a good friend to the show, a good friend to me, Mr. Terry Hodges. He began by telling us how he's from Pontiac, Michigan, and how he grew up seeing Marvin Gaye play on the basketball courts. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Are you kidding me? I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I would have been at the basketball court every day. Telling me, I mean, what a life. Are you kidding? Marvin Gaye.
Oh, man, can you hear me?
Yes. I
can
hear you.
Something happened. Hold on.
Okay, well, while you figure that out, we're going to take our caller while you work out your technical issues. Give us one moment, Terry. So we do have Ron on the line. Is that Ron?
Yes.
Ron,
Hello,
Ron, how are you? Hi.
Hello, Caroline. Let me go through this real quick, and I'll do it quickly.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Riddick, Caroline, her mother called her.
Yes.
And this thing we call love. And I'm not talking some hanky-panky crap when it comes to Caroline. I've never seen this woman in my life before. I never knew who she were. But when I heard her voice, it brought back many years of memories with Caroline. Her, with the education that Carol had, she can't get that country out of her. And when I heard that voice, it reminded me of the Southern lady that raised me. And I began to listen at her more and more and more, even though she's much younger than the woman that raised me. And Carol, when I heard that voice, once again, this love that you have, and I'm not talking the love between a man and a woman and things like that, but love in you and overall. And your love is with a verb, man. And what you did on that program, I'm making a request to you. Would you bring Mr. J and his wife back on that program so this audience of this time frame will hear them. Mr. J lived in Yorktown, him and his wife. And their relationship went on in 1 year. He had a stroke.
Mm.
The wife and them came on Cal's show. And the wife was saying, for better, not for worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because the man, his speech impairment.
Mm-hmm.
And Cal, when they were saying stuff, and she said she's going to stick with him because of finance or whatever. And that's what caring is about. So the Cal was speaking. So the man, when you have that type of disability, and Cal said something to this man, and the man took a deep gulp and tried to get in. He was bringing his expression out. And when Cal said what she said to that man, the man said, "Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Cal." Then not only that, made Cal cry. Blessed are the weepers and caring. That's real love. Cal started crying. And because of that, I've never forgotten that. And I'm going to close with this. I went into the church. I never got that out of my mind. I went into the church about 2 months ago. The family had me on the program. And I thought about Cal and this caring. And as I made my comments, blessed are people that care at the critical part of their life, not in depth. And I want to thank you for that, man. That program there touched that man's life. And I know they live in Yorktown, so I just hope that you will bring that person back on. And also, Cal, you need to bring your aunt back on. 80 years of age.
Yes.
On your first program. Let me close with this, beloved. When I talk about you, I don't talk about you from no aspect of some hanky-panky crap. And I told the station, I said, I would like to give Cal a gift. And when I heard she was down south, and I made that connection with the woman that raised me. And I decided a gift that was given to me, I would love Cal to have that gift. It's a painting, at least over 100-some years of age. And I want Cal to have that. Her father, R.W. Brown Boys Club, way back in the 50s, a man who only had a second-grade education. Mr. Jasper Brown, Mr. Dave Riddick, educated man, came in there and did for him what he couldn't do. And because of Dave and them did what they did for him, caused him to inspire people like me and many other hundreds of people. Your family have a legacy of giving, beloved. Continue to do that. And may God bless you all the days of your life. Thank you very much.
Oh, Ron. Family, yeah. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Ron, I love you to pieces. I can't thank you enough for your love, for your spirit, and for sharing that word and that message with me and with us. I can't thank you enough for joining us in this space, and for the family that you mentioned, Jay and Conchetta. That is who Ron was talking about. There's so much, family, that if this is your first time spending some time with us, there's so much that we talk about. So much. We talk I cannot stress to you. Today, I thought it would be light. Share some love, share some spirit with you. Just check in on you, see how you're doing, and find out from you, what I can do going forward to make you a little lighter. Things we can talk about and some information that can be shared with you that might make things a little easier with and for you. And Ron was talking about a couple that we had on. They were talking about the health challenges in their marriage Jay was experiencing some health challenges, and Conchetta said, for better or for better. She said there is no worse, and it was a very, very, very emotional episode. It really was. It really, really was. So thank you, Ron. I'm so glad that you were there with us. I'm so glad for those are our family members who are here tonight. And I see that some of our family members are joining us on our socials as well. Kevin, hi there. And thank you so much for the welcome to this slot. Kevin is asking about a broadcast, one of our former shows where we talked about credit. Family, when I'm telling you, we talk about everything. We were talking about business credit. Specifically at one point in the show, I had introduced you all to our guest for that evening, who was Anthony Franklin. That was the name of our guest, Kevin, because Kevin is asking, and for those family members who are listening and are not watching, Kevin, our guest was named Anthony Franklin, and the number at which he can be reached is 202-487-7091. That's if you want to talk about business credit. We're talking about everything tonight, family. We're talking about everything. Today is Monday, April 3rd. 2023. This is the first episode for Love and Life in our new time slot. And we're just doing it all. We're just doing it all tonight. I want to hear from you, though. I want to know what you like. I want to know what you don't like. Okay. I want to know it all. Because on this show is where we have full transparency. I had invited a friend of mine and a friend to the show, Terry Hodges, to spend some time with us. Terry, can you hear me well? Are you able to see and hear me? You can barely hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask. There you go. Oh, no, don't you do that. You know what? Family members, he is putting his ear to the phone. When I tell you my father did that one time, and my father did that. Oh my goodness. So Terry, you began. I was asking you to tell our family members from where you come. Where do you hail? And you said Pontiac, Michigan. Tell me. So, well, tell us, okay, how you got started in comedy. Tell us about that, because some of our family members are unfamiliar with you and what you do.
Well, like I said, I'm from Pontiac. We were talking about Motown.
Mm-hmm.
I became a comedian. I was what you call, when you grew up, you hear about the class clown. I was the school clown. I was the guy that was making everybody constantly laugh and the whole nine. So I got
Mm-mm.
into comedy. I started out at the Apollo Theater. I was the first host of the Apollo Theater. When I came in to host all of the concerts at the Apollo Theater had been closed for 30 years. The Schiffman brothers owned Apollo back in the 40s and the 30s. And then the Sutton family, Percy Sutton and the Sutton family acquired it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they reopened it and they had the show Showtime at the Apollo. But the year before the Showtime at the Apollo, they were having concerts and everybody and their grandmother was coming back because it's the world famous Apollo. I was blessed to be able to host all of those shows with people such as B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland one night, Millie Jackson one night, the OJs one night. They had a jazz series. It was Art Blakely and the Jazz Messengers featuring Wynton
Mm.
Marsalis, Nancy Wilson.
Oh.
I was fortunate to host all of those shows. And then a year later, they had a television show. They launched a show called Showtime at the Apollo. Well, I was already in-house comedian, and I got a chance. Me and a guy by the name of Rick Aviles. Rick Aviles was a Spanish guy, extraordinarily funny. He was in the movie Ghost. He was in a bunch of different movies. He was the one that got killed in Ghost.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we were doing the Apollo, and at that particular time, uh, it was just he and I were the only comedians. They didn't have comedians on Showtime at the Apollo. I suggested to Chuck Sutton and NBC that we should put comedians on Showtime at the Apollo because they had a time slot where they didn't have comedians, but they needed to fill the void. And that's how comedians got on Showtime at the Apollo. So I
From a
went on
simple
to do
conversation.
huh?
From a simple conversation.
From a simple conversation. And it's ironic because people look at Steve Harvey, uh, um, Sinbad hosted it, Steve Harvey Sinbad. But Rick Aviles and I were there from the very beginning. We actually shot the commercials back then for Showtime at the Apollo. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but that's how they got on the Apollo. So I went on to do that from that, and we started a black comedy night. A guy by the name of Bob Sumner and myself and Willie Asbury, and we started a black comedy night in Newark, New Jersey. And at that particular time, there was only two black comedy nights in America. That was the Comedy Act Theater in California, where the great Robin Harris came out of, and the one that we were doing in New Jersey. Then they had one, the Uptown Comedy Club in Harlem. Now, the Uptown Comedy Club in Harlem, which mirrored what we were doing in Newark, New Jersey, is where Russell Simmons took a film crew to the Uptown Comedy Club and filmed it, and took that same film to HBO, and that created Def Comedy Jam.
Are you serious?
So one night doing the concerts at the Apollo, I was with the OJs and somebody else, I can't think of who it was. And Deanna Williams introduced me to Eddie Levert. And Eddie Levert thought that I was very, very funny. And he gave me a promoter's number, Jeff Sharp, and says, call this guy and tell him I said, I want you out on the Father and Son tour, which was the OJs and Levert. And that was my first tour, and that was the tour. Eddie Levert was responsible for getting me my first tour ever, and actually getting me out of the Apollo Theater, which I was ready to go because I had been there for like almost 5 years. And I toured with the OJs and Levert and Gerald Levert, and they were just fantastic people. I mean, just great people. Let me tell you another sidebar story. So we're doing the show at the Regal Theater in Chicago, and it's New Year's Eve, and Robert Townsend came to interview the OJs because he has this movie that he's coming out. He wanted to do it about musical singers. That movie ended up being The Five Heartbeats.
Shut up, Terry.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from that, I about maybe 3 weeks after that, famous artist, a friend of mine named Erskine Isaac, he says, hey, Terry, I got this show for you next Thursday at Westbury Music Fair with Patti LaBelle. I want you to do the show. So I ended up doing the show, and I'm going to keep it real with you. He says, hey, look, I don't want any money for the show. He says, I need you to make me look good. I'm the only black at this agency, and I've been bragging on you, and I need you to make me look good. So I went in and I did the show. Patti LaBelle loved the show. Come to find out, she was doing 100 nights on that tour. So she
100
was her agency, Jerry Aid. So she called Jerry Aid the next day and booked me on the remainder of the tour. Off of that tour, I got a chance to meet Al Heyman, a guy by the name of Freddie C. And Al Heyman and Freddie C put me on all of their tours for the next 19 years. So from Patti LaBelle, Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, Frankie Beverly, the OJs, the Whispers, Phyllis Hyman, Four Top Temptations. I was the king of the R&B tours for 19 years. And that's
my God. That was a lot. You said 19 years. You know, that just doesn't happen nowadays. 19 years. Terry.
And that's 19 years nonstop. That's not a year off or 2 years off. No, that's 19 years in a row.
Right. Oh my goodness. I'm digesting that because I'm thinking here we are in 2023, and you know, the industry has changed so much, as we all know. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Fighting something. In any event, we know the industry has changed so much, and that just, you know, that's just unheard of. 19 years. And like you said, you were touring with all the greats.
Oh, yeah. And it'll never be the same. It's not even supposed to be the same, but the artists back then were so professional and so on top of their game. I mean, Luther Vandross if we had 50 shows, he would rehearse 50 shows, meaning that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he would go and rehearse. And he wouldn't leave. Most artists, they don't even come to sound check.
Wait, I want to stop you right there. I want to stop you right there because I want to hear this entire story, but we do have to take a break. Family, I'm encouraging you to call us because we want to talk with you. We want to hear from you. This is our first show in our new time slot. Call us 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Please stay with us because we're going to come back and we're going to hear the remainder of this story about Luther Vandross that I can't wait to hear. Okay, from one and only Terry Hodges. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
This WURD public service announcement is a reminder that every voice and every vote counts. We are committed to keeping you informed, and we encourage you to participate in the process.
This is Charles Ellison, host of Reality Check on WURD. If you're a Philly resident who is already registered to vote or wants to register, where should you get more information on next steps? All Pennsylvania voters should visit votespa.com on how to register, key deadlines, and where to find your polling location. Philadelphia residents can also go to philadelphiavotes.com for more information and to reach the Philadelphia City Commissioner's office. Keep following us at OneWord on Twitter, Facebook.com/4Word, and hashtag WordOnPolitics for constant updates. And remember, vote early.
This BSA is a part of Every Voice, Every Vote, a collaborative project of the Lenfest Institute for Journalism, with lead support provided by the William Penn Foundation. Learn more at www.everyvoice-everyvote.org. Editorial content is created independently of the project's donors.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for? Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Media on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Welcome back. Welcome. We just took a short break and we're glad to see that you stayed with us. And those of you who have just joined us, welcome, because we're glad to have you with us too. We're talking with none other than Terry Hodges, the comedian extraordinaire. And before the break, he began a story that I interrupted because I wanted to make sure we had the whole story in its entirety, uninterrupted. So, Terry, I'm going to ask you if you will start the story again. He was telling us about Luther Vandross and his work ethic, if I'm not mistaken.
He was just the ultimate professional. Like I said, some artists don't even go to sound check. He would come to sound check around 1 o'clock, and if the sound check took an hour or 2 hours, he would do it, and he would never leave the building until the show was over with. He didn't, some artists they come in and do sound check. If they do sound check, they go back to the hotel. It was all about business with him. The OJs was the same way. Patti LaBelle, in my humble opinion, during that particular time, was one of the greatest live acts I've ever seen. I seen her do something one time, just blew my mind. She sang the song um, Over the Rainbow. And people are waiting for her to come back to do an encore. And she's backstage in the limousine singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And as she finished the song, she had already finished it, but they were waiting on her to come out for an encore. She's still singing in the car. And as the car pulls off, she gives the mic to the stage manager. I mean, you don't get it no better than that.
You really don't know. She is an amazing human being. I call her Aunt Patty. I just told her, I said, you're my aunt. You listen, I've adopted you. I'm praying that you adopt me back. But she's just an extraordinary human being outside of being an extraordinary artist that I could not imagine. Like she seriously, when you say she's one of the best that ever did it, she really is. She really is.
Yeah, and let me say this to the listeners. It's one thing to have hit records. It's another thing to go see the show and can bag up those hit records.
Well, that's it right there.
She was far beyond her hit records. When you went to a Patti LaBelle show, you saw a show. You were like fired up. You were walking in the lobby.
Wait. Let me correct you, because when you go to a Patti LaBelle show, because you still get a show.
Oh no, I thought I didn't. No. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I guess I was trying to say the overall. It's still the same today. One of the things that I went to see the Essence Festival, and I love the Essence Festival. But one of the things that I looked at Patti LaBelle's set when she was at the Essence Festival, they dressed. They dress the part of show business. They look show business. They eat show business. They sleep show business. And I was fortunate to be able to be in that era, be on tour with those guys, Frankie Beverly. I've done probably over 450 shows with Frankie Beverly, over 450 shows. And I mean, every show was like popping. Every show was this. And people say that they've missed a step or whatever, but you got to understand something. This is very important to the public that's listening. They haven't missed a step, but even if they did, guess what? I remember being 6 years old, 7 years old, watching Soul Train. They were stars and kicking butt back then.
Well, you know what? I want to address what you just said. When some people say that, that they missed a step or something like that, it's really interesting. When I hear comments like that about artists, and especially, number one, first of all, we're all human. Second part is we all have good and bad days. The third is that nobody is perfect. Nobody. I mean, I've had some shows where I came off the stage saying, "Oh, I just took one for the team." Like, like nobody is on all the time. Nobody is perfect. And we're not supposed to be. We're human beings. We're not supposed to be. And I've had that.
I think the point that I was trying to make is that how great they are.
Oh, they are.
You're talking 60 years later. 60 years. That's what you call a career. People nowadays, they sing for 2 weeks and they call them a legend. It's legendary. Yeah. A legend. If you wasn't on Soul Train, you ain't no legend to me.
You say you ain't on Soul Train. Oh my God, Terry. Wait, I want to say hi to Lily, who is joining us. Good evening to you, Lily. It is a pleasure to have you join us as well. We're happy to have all of our family members with us. Those of you who are watching, those of you who are listening, listen. I cannot tell you and have you understand how much I appreciate the love for our very first show in this time slot. We thought today that we'd, just take some time to get to know you better and give you the opportunity to get to know me better and just talk about some things, Feel free, though, if there's a topic that you want to discuss or if you just want to say hello to me and to the show. Feel free to do so. You can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We're talking with Terry Hodges. For those of you who have just joined us, know that he is an extraordinary comedian. He's been in this industry for I don't know how many years. Right? It's been a good long time, which is a blessing. Which is a huge and tremendous blessing. And we're just talking about everything under both umbrellas of love and life. We're talking about his life a little bit, talking about how he grew up in Pontiac, Michigan, watching none other than Marvin Gaye play basketball, with everybody in the neighborhood. Those were the days, I tell you that. Those were really the days. I'm an advocate for well, you all know I'm a love bug. Everybody who knows me knows that. You just know I encourage us all to do better and to be better. I say when you know better, you do better. But I feel like, when you're an artist or when you're a celebrity or you're in the public's eye, people don't see you. They oftentimes don't see you as a human being. So when we hear, oh, well, this celebrity or that celebrity was hanging out or doing whatever, it's always a good thing to hear. Like, I think I read a story, I think it was today, that Rihanna was at CVS. She was out buying some stuff. She stopped at a little baby store, was looking at some baby stuff. And, it's always those feel good stories that you need to see about those that we're looking at and watching and those that are in the public's eye. So it feels good to hear those stories. You look like you were about to say something. What were you about to say?
For me?
Yeah, what were you about to say?
I'm going to drop a jewel on you. Marvin Gaye's song, the intro, what's going on? Hey, man, that's the Detroit Lions football team.
Okay. Wait a minute.
When Marvin Gaye is singing.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the song. I know the song all about it, but you got to tell me all about that one because I did not know that. You're dropping too many pearls on me. Family, we're going to take a break though, really, really, really quickly. Know that the phone lines are open, so feel free to comment also on WURD TV. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Stay with us though, because we've got so much more to talk about. We'll be right back.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Here's what you missed on Wake Up with WURD.
I'm going to welcome you back to Wake Up with WURD. Joining us now is Dr. Helena Fontes. She's a licensed therapist and the founder of New View Institute. There was a 15-year-old on his way to Simon Gratz Mastery Charter High School who was killed on his way to school. And then, of course, we have a bunch of school shootings that are happening, these mass shootings like in Uvalde and in Nashville. How do you talk to kids about what's happening with school shootings?
It's important, first of all, to not project your fears onto the children. We experience the impact of the violence a lot differently than our children do. You want to have open conversation with your children to find out exactly what they know about what has occurred. You want to find out how it has impacted them. You want to hear from their own words and encourage them to be able to share their emotion behind what is occurring all around them.
Tune in to Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
April is National Poetry Month.
Transformation begins. Boom, boom, boom. Transformation begins. Boom, 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 boom. Why does this poetry pulsate within me with the intensity of 1,000 hearts? I could write this in 1,000 parts and still might not understand why these prophecies of poetry funnel through me like cakes that are just the tracks. My lyrical erection would never retract because my poetry is hard but soft enough to make Master P drop a tear. Nah. I say, holla if you hear me, cause Ivy got the hook up on heavenly passes with no need to pass the plate for offering to whomever's congregating. I'm offering eternity without segregating souls, and like the city, I'm an itty bitty kid in this worldly litter, but my litter will pollute this vast mass of trash and filthy with poetic positivity, putting holes in your holes on the bash negativity. My words need no promotion, so maybe I should sign with relativity. I got more tips and gratuity, so I'm gonna continue this like continuity aboard a continental flight across the continents. I represent like Olympians taking victory laps. Wave my red and gold pen in the atmosphere. My words are record breaking. Transformation. Transformation ends.
That was Vintage J. Ivy on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
When I joined WURD Radio in 2019, it was under the premise as a fresh face to the organization that I would open the microphones and give the very best of what I had, since I learned it was one of only 3 Black-owned media stations in the country. What I have found since then is a place where we should all cherish and treasure, because we are given the voice to do, to speak, to ask questions that wouldn't ordinarily happen in our Black community through other media outlets. I am so grateful to be here. And on this 20th anniversary, I just want to say thank you to the listeners. Thank you more than anyone else. Thank you to my colleagues who've made this a wonderful transition into radio. And thank you to the management and staff there. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, radio show host for The Source on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. And I'd like to wish WURD a very happy 20th anniversary.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. That is WURDradio.com, WURDradio.com. We're at the top of our second hour. I cannot thank you enough for spending some time with us. Our first show, as I've been explaining to you, I thought, it would be an opportunity for you to get to know me better and for me to do the same. I'm encouraging you, family members, to say, hey, reach out to me on our socials. I see those of you that have. I'm enjoying all of the love that you're expressing. I'm encouraging those of you who are near your phones or who have that phone in your hand to call me. Call me and say, hey, say hello. You can do so by calling 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I see that Harry in our comments on our socials said that Brother Ron loves Carol. Well, you know what? Yes, and I appreciate all the love that I receive from each and every one of you. And yes, 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 I especially appreciate the love that Ron expresses and that he shares. It's really a pleasure and a privilege, I must say, to be appreciated, to be seen, and to know that there are those of you out there who receive my spirit in the way that you do and to recognize it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Terry, before the break, before I so rudely interrupted you, you were telling me about the intro to Marvin Gaye's song. Now, I wasn't aware of that. I never heard that before. You said that was the Detroit Lions. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Lombardi and I can't think of the other guy. It was two of the Detroit Lions football players were when they say, "Hey, what's going on?" Hey, but right before the song, those are Detroit Lions football players, and Marvin Gaye actually tried out. He went to camp. He tried out for the Detroit Lions football team.
Wait
I
a
mean,
minute.
this is all documented. You can fact check it.
I bet you can.
But I'm saying that to say in reference to just how down to earth he was, and you know they had a thing called the club called the 20 Grand back in Detroit back in the day, and but you have to understand the climate back then. The teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, everybody lived in the neighborhood back then. It wasn't until affirmative action in the 70s that everybody moved out into the suburbs and left the neighborhood. But your teachers, the principal, the lawyers, the doctors, the firemen, everybody lived in the neighborhood back then.
You know, that's a testament to how much the times have changed. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talk about, you know, how different things are, but that's a huge testament to how the times have changed. And you're right. You're right. When the shift began, that's when we all started to migrate to different areas, as you said, the suburbs.
And you lost the black neighborhood. See, now you don't have black neighborhood. You have black people that live in the neighborhood. But one of the difference was if you were cursing and acting a fool 3 blocks away from your home, by the time you got home, your parents already knew how you were acting 3 blocks away.
You know that let me tell you something. Not a truer statement has been made. You're so right about that, Terry. I mean, I remember growing up, if I did anything, well, I was too afraid to curse, but if I did anything, you know, kicked a pebble the wrong way before I got home. And you know what amazes me though, was that we didn't have cell phones then. We weren't able to take video. I mean, it was that network. It was that village that you're talking about, is that neighborhood that you're talking about, because word spreads so fast. I'm telling you, you are so right about that.
I'm at a certain age, and I won't say that. I should say because I love it. I love my age. I'm 66. I love my
I was
age.
about to say, you listen. Okay.
Listen at this. Listen at this. All of the cool cats that was dressed up on the street corners back in the day, all of the alcoholics and the dope fiends back in the day would say, "Boy, I don't never want to see you doing this." And guess what? To this day now, at 66 years old, I've never smoked, never drank, never smoked, never been high a day in my life because of those dope fiends that was on the corners telling me not to.
Oh, Terry.
That's a neighborhood.
I had the same experience. Let me tell you, Harry, I see that you are joining us. Harry said they dropped neighborhood and now it's just the hood. Yeah, Harry, you're absolutely right. That is to what it is referred. You know, when I was little, well, I grew up directly across the street from Emerson's Bar and Grill. I don't know if you're familiar. It is one of the last few places at which Billie Holiday performed before she passed away. I think she performed at Pittsburgh after that, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like one of the last 2 places at which she performed before she died. But in any event, there were people in the neighborhood. There were alcoholics, there were drug addicts, and in our neighborhood, but they were so protective of us, the kids. They called me Little Riddick. And they saw me walking around. Little Riddick, you all right? You need me to walk you to the store? Or do you need me to walk you home? They were so protective of us. When I tell you that, I mean, it hurts me when I see our neighborhoods now, when I see our babies now. And as you know, and some of our family members know, I work with a lot of our babies with some of the programs that teach music education. It really hurts because I see, even when we were little, we looked out for one another. There was a different way about us as a people, than there is now. Like I see the little kids, you have to encourage them to be friendly. Now it's a different thing. When we were little, even if you didn't know somebody, you talked to them at least. Now they say, they don't want to talk to each other.
I got a funny saying. I say, black folks built the community, Negroes destroyed it.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that, I know that's deep. What I mean by that is our grandparents, and only one or two or three generations away from slavery, we depended on each other. They depended on each other. If your rent was due and you didn't have the money, they would have rent parties for you to be able to pay your rent. If you needed some sugar, you needed some eggs, you needed this. The lady next door, the old lady next door who couldn't go to the store, you would go to the store for. Once affirmative action happened and we got our so-called rights and everybody moved out, everybody just started caring about just themselves and not the community anymore. And I always say this, and I got this from Dick Gregory, but I always say it myself. The two strongest forces in American history has always been the black woman and the black church. And it's so funny. I know I'm going to get too deep and I'll probably get some criticism for what I'm getting ready to say. Black women have always been the forefront of the black man. The black man has never had anything. It's always been the black woman who has carried the black man. And prime example, even in the 50s, when the government said, okay, look, we would give you welfare, we would give you an apartment as long as the black man is not there. It's always been, if during slavery time, the white man has always been in love with the black woman from the day she got off of that slave ship. So if I tried to run and I was married to you, Carol, and the master caught me, you had the power to go to the master and get on your knees and say, please don't do this. Please, I'll talk to him. I'll do this. I'll do that. And he'll say, well, you need to go back and talk to Tim. Black women has always been the power structure with us. Always been and always will be.
I don't deny that it begins and ends with the black woman. I don't deny that at all. I don't deny that it begins with the black woman. I cannot deny that. I mean, we have too many stories as proof of that. I mean, Henrietta Lacks is one. If you want to break it down into different sectors and different areas. So I don't deny that. I'm curious to know though, why we as a people, why we don't come together enough. I'm curious. Family members, if you just tuned in, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. I'm talking with none other than Terry Hodges, and Terry just made a statement about the black family, about the black man and the black woman. I mean, I do agree with you again, wholeheartedly, that it begins with the black woman, but I'm interested in knowing where you see it going now in 2023, Terry. Here we are in 2023. How influential do you see the black woman being in 2023?
I see not just the black woman. If we don't go back to our parents and our grandparents, where we as a family don't come together, we're not together. We need to come together. If you were in Michigan, let's just say up north, and you had relatives that came from down south, well, they stayed with you until they got on their feet. You know, we need to go back to loving each other, um, helping each other. We don't help each other anymore like we used to, and we will not survive unless we start helping each other more, like our grandparents did and our parents did.
I'm in agreement with that. I'm in agreement. But so now when you say that, because you're saying we and we and we, and we agreed that, the Black woman is the catalyst for a lot. Do you see that happening? You see our families coming back together. You see
I
the Black
see, I
woman.
see, I see, I see. It has to happen, or we will perish.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. But do you see that happening? Do you think there's a chance that that's going to happen?
I can't say,
Mhm.
and the reason why I can't say, but I can say if we don't, we will perish. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, I'm just being totally honest with you.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, and I'm asking that by, you were stating, you said, look, you're good and grown. You're a mature man. I'm asking you with what you see going on nowadays, talking about we both just had the discussion about what we used to see with the Black
Right,
family
right.
and with the neighborhoods and the villages and all. Our village is different now. It's totally different. So I was just asking, if you felt like there might be a chance that we might be able to get back at least close to
Oh
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
once
There's
were.
always yes. I apologize for interrupting you. Yes,
Mm-mm.
there's definitely hope. I think that there's hope. I hope that we do. We need to. Let me tell you a funny story, real quick.
Okay.
Booker T. Washington um, felt that black people should um, learn a skill, learn trades, learn this, and then as we progress in different time zones, our kids would go to college. Well, it's so funny. I see the Hispanics, a lot of them doing the same ideology that Booker T. Washington was talking about. If you go to Vegas, you go to any construction site, um, you see Spanish people doing the same stuff we used to do. We don't do it
Mhm.
anymore. We have to go back to how we came. We can't get away from how our grandparents and the struggles that our grandparents and our great grandparents and how they got us to the point to where we are today. We got away from that, and we got to
Mhm.
go back to having communities. We got to go back to when you walk out your door and saying good morning to your neighbor, or how is your kids doing, or how your husband, how your wife, how
Mm.
your uncle, how your cousin. We got to go back to the family structure. And the black woman has always been the matriarch of the black family.
Mhm. Agreed, agreed, agreed with that. I'm going to address some things, Harry. Terry, I'm going to get back to that, but Harry, I'm going to address your comment. Yes, my chair is very comfortable. Okay. This is the big comfy chair that I decide to sit in when I talk with you all because I like to relax so we could have all of those good and uncomfortable conversations when they come up, when they come up. But I want to take a moment
That's right.
before
That's
I
right.
go back to what you said, Terry. I want to take a moment to talk with our caller, Rick. Are you still there?
I'm here, sister.
Thank you so much for calling in. Hello, how are you?
Um, I won't say for this conversation. I'm good enough to have a peaceable, positive, progressive conversation.
I understand.
Um, I want to know if your guest is the same Terry Hodges that was in Malcolm X.
He
Yes.
is. He is.
You are a powerful man if you understand Malcolm's legacy. You're suggesting that the black woman is the bedrock, and yet the Nation of Islam history of trying to put the black man into some prominence in the black family. How do we how do we make peace between the black man and the black woman? And also, you say that we have lost the neighborhoods. You say that Negroes destroyed the neighborhoods. I suggest to you that bad health destroyed the neighborhoods, not just drug use, but bad diet. We no longer have the ability to work an 8 to 12-hour day like we did in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I'm waiting for your response.
Was that a question? I mean, are you asking me to answer that, or were you making a statement?
Well, I made the last part of it was a statement, but my question was, if you were in the movie Malcolm X, I think you know some of the legacy of Malcolm and the Nation of Islam with putting the black man, bringing the black man back into prominence in the family system. How do we make peace between the black man and the black woman? And then, if you wish, you can deal with the diet aspects of where we are today, not just with drug abuse, but with poisoning ourselves through what we eat.
I think the peace with the black man and the black woman first has to come through honest communication. Dialogue directly between the black man and the black woman, no interference. I feel that in a lot of ways, I know Malcolm's ideology. Of course, I was in the movie, but even before then, the Nation of Islam was a shining light in the community when back in the day, and they still are today, but not as much as they were back then when you had the final call and everything on the street. I feel that the way the world is today, it is forcing us to come back together. As I said, and I won't, as I said earlier, if we don't come together, we will perish. That's how I feel. In terms of the diet, I don't know. I don't really, I'm a very truthful guy, and I'm not the type of guy who will talk to try to make myself sound intelligent about things that I don't know. I don't know how to. When you talk about the diet and stuff like that, I don't have an answer for that because I don't know how to answer that.
Miss Riddick?
I think there's some truth to what Terry just said about communication. I believe it does. I always say even as adults, we don't communicate properly and effectively with one another. But I think it starts with us individually. We don't, as a people, we don't look inward and accept who we are. Number one, we don't know who we are. I should say that we don't know who we are, and there aren't enough that do. So we don't come together to listen to one another. So there's communication, there's acceptance of who we are, because we were great people. We are a great and extraordinary people, but we don't know our history. There are so many of us that are unaware and uneducated about our history. And those, in some circles, I oftentimes find that we don't want to know. I don't know why that is. It hurts me, but I don't know why. So at the core of it, I say that there is truth to what Terry said about communication, but I also believe that education is key. We've gotten away from listening to our elders and so we don't know who we are. We don't know from where we come. So we don't know where we're going. So that would be just a small bit of my answer. Because Rick, I can tell you, this is a conversation that I actually enjoy having, because I want to know. I want to know how we get back to being a strong family, how we get there. I want that for us so badly and so deeply.
Honest dialogue.
Yeah.
Honest dialogue. We have disappointed the black woman, and the black woman have disappointed the black man. And I think once we can sit down and have honest dialogue of how we can move forward, that's the beginning.
Well, I think a good part of that is that we don't know who we are to one another. We don't know who we are individually, but we also don't know. We don't accept who we are to one another. You know, unless and until we address ourselves, we know who we are. We won't be able to communicate with each other.
Right. So let me ask the caller his opinion on what he thinks.
I'm curious to know, Rick, what would you say to that? Rick, did we lose you?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Let me give you some background. I come from a military and medical family. I also dropped out of school at the age of 15. There was not a Nation of Islam Muslim at my school, but a Hanafi Muslim teaching at my school, and he was about to get into a boatload of trouble for nurturing me. I was a terrible student. I had lots of family problems, and I decided to drop out so that he wouldn't catch hell from the white and Jewish community that existed at my school. But I learned from that experience. I learned the power of communication. I learned that my mother was not the devil, and I learned that being fatherless was not the worst thing in the world. You could overcome it, and in the next generation, you could do better if you had your health and a work ethic. As far as food goes, I think America has poisoned her own food supply to keep the poor down. And when I say poisoned, I don't mean like you can smell it type of poison, but I mean making it taste good type of poison. And we consume it, and we poison ourselves. And we, like I said, we cannot do an 8 to 10 to 12 hour day like we did in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I'll close out with that and give it to someone else.
Rick, I'm going to ask for everyone's patience in this moment. Rick, I appreciate the questions and the response, and I thank you for joining us. I want to just take a moment because we have to take a commercial break. I really don't want to interrupt this conversation, but please stay with us because we're going to take a short break right now. Family, join the conversation. The phone lines are open. Call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Need a minute? Take a breath and breathe in positivity. Here are words of joy and empowerment from WURD Radio.
This is Valerie Harrison, Vice President for Public Affairs at Temple University. The power, purpose, and possibility of Black women are clear. While we can be very different, we share the authenticity of Maya Angelou, the community-mindedness of Ella Baker, the courage of Harriet Tubman, and the elegance and grace of Coretta Scott King. We bring our whole selves to every experience. Remember who you are. You are a light in darkness. You are the best of what it means to be human. I'm Valerie Harrison.
This joy and empowerment vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work. but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Stay connected on the go with the new and improved WURD Radio app. Search WURD Radio in your app store. Stream every show with increased clarity. Easily access WURD TV, EcoWord, and Livelihood. Start or renew your 4-word membership and buy WURD swag. Remember, Black Media Matters. Get the new and improved WURD Radio app today. Available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
This is your celebration.
I love WURD because it's a great place for Black people to come together and share their thoughts and opinions about the different things that are going on in the world. My name is Niall. I'm a producer here at WURD, and I wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary.
Congratulations to WURD Radio's on David Barnes, host of the New Worldview Radio Show, heard live worldwide Sunday evenings 8 until 11 p.m. with our Afrobeat After Party 10 until 11 p.m. New Worldview Radio has been on air for 20 years long and still going strong, and we thank and congratulate WURD Radio on their 20th anniversary. Stay connected.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Join the conversation. Rick called in and was talking with us about the Black family. He shared some of his past and from where he comes and how he was raised and grew up, which is, let me just say this. There's so many things going through my mind right now. Family, I just want to take a moment out to say thank you. Thank you for engaging us. Thank you for being interactive with us. Thank you for joining me, for joining us, and for being a part of the show. Those of you who are joining us on our socials, thank you. Because again, I wouldn't be here without any of you. Thank you for those of you who are calling in, who are texting, who are doing everything, sending smoke signals and everything else. Let's continue our conversations. I've encouraged those of you to call in. If you don't have the number, you can call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I believe we do have another caller on the line. Who's joining us now?
Peace and blessings, my sis.
Peace and blessings.
Respect to my good brother that's sharing the mic with you. I'm Tyrone from North Philadelphia. And I think, first of all, my sis, thank you for keep asking him the question, do he think things are going to change or get better? And secondly, I think one of the critical aspects that we have no longer do is, in being neighbors, is having Miss Jane, who always looked out the window, or Miss Sue, or Brother Joseph, when you walk down saying, you know, you need to be doing this, that, or the other. I think it's so critical that we no longer have the ability to talk to one another in terms of the parents who say that you can't say nothing to their children. I mean, that's so ludicrous that you can't say nothing to someone's child next door when that was part of our development and our growing up.
It really was.
Being able to say when they were doing wrong or to pat them on their back when they was doing right. And sis, you don't mind me just sharing this to Brother Rick, you know, that was so powerful to share that you dropped out of school when you were 15. Because my brother, however you gain your knowledge, you are one of the most knowledgeable callers that calls the station. And you speak truth to power. And you speak with knowledge. You speak with boldness and confidence that what you were saying is true. So I don't know if he does research or, you know, where he gained his wisdom. But I'm going to say that brother is extremely intelligent. And to say he dropped out of school at age 15, he did something to continue his education. And I hope you don't mind me ending with this, my sis. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but you know, my brother, we got to believe. We got to believe that things are going to work in our behalf. Well, what we are doing, we got to believe it's going to work. So the information you're sharing about what's going on and how it's going on, and my sis keep asking you, do you think it's going to change or it's going to get better? Yes. You got to be like bold enough to say yes, because you got to have the faith and belief that the good is sure enough going to override the madness that we're living through right now. So I appreciate both of you. And my sis, thank you so much for allowing me to share that.
I can't thank you enough, Tyrone, for all of the wisdom, the information, and that expression of love, because that's what it feels like to me. Thank you so much. And thank you for recognizing and acknowledging Rick's statement and his intelligence and his strength, because I too felt strength in his words and his delivery of his words. And his story did touch me as well. So thank you for everything that you just said, and for sharing with us, and for actually joining the conversation. It means more than I can express. Thank you so much. I want to make sure we continue the conversation. It always hurts me that we don't have enough time for everything, but I want to make sure we get all of our callers in as well. Prince, are you still there?
I am. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in and joining the conversation.
I just think that it lends us, and when I say young people, I'm not really talking about millennials. I'm talking about successful people between 40 and 55. And so millennials won't have a future in 10 years because they've expedited doing things faster without growing. So in the next 10 to 15 years, they're going to fall real hard and they're going to fall real fast. And so the accomplished people between 40 and 55 who have moved out of certain systematical urban neighborhoods who have built a nest egg, who have created some trust funds and stuff like that, and who's come from the North Philly, the West Philly, the Southwest of Philadelphia, are learned and established and accomplished people. So it seems that though we do not have a plan for stabilization over a long period of time, and people want to, preference that by saying Democrat and Republican, it has nothing to do with the economic growth that white folks still command with us being their commodity. I still go to places and I see they play softball, they play baseball, they build parks, they got new hotels in Valley Kenwood that intersect with Manioc, and you can't tell me what we as African Americans have done yet to create or cultivate an area that speaks volumes about our economic growth. Now you get these people that come on here and they're so compassionate, about their conversation and so determined about saying that you got to be positive, but economically you get what you inspect, not what you expect. And so take a look at their wealth, take a look at their growth, take a look at how they're living. And this is why the respect for someone 60 and 70 years old is not being accomplished with younger people, because at the end of the day, they're talking from a box on the corner, or they're talking from poverty. And you keep talking this positivity from poverty, it does not benefit us. It will not benefit us. So you can be optimistic as possible, the same way you are with hitting the lottery, but you don't hit. And it's $1 billion, and somehow you're optimistic that you got the right ticket, but you don't hit. And so my question is, when are we going to start talking truth to power and be factual about what's actually happened to us as a people, opposed to glossing over and kumbayaing when in the next 25 years, if there's a plan for extinction, we're helping them because we're sitting idle and we have nothing to say that we have in order to have the progressive and positive outcomes that we look for.
Well, Prince, I want to, because there was a lot there, but one thing I want to address that you did say, I don't know that we're actually sitting idle, because number one, you and I, we're having this conversation right now. So there's at least two of us in existence that are aware and are alert and are knowledgeable. And I will say this new generation, I felt so proud with now there's a lot here too with what I'm about to say, so be patient with me. With the movements that happened in the more recent past, every single movement that took place, I saw us as a people come together more than I ever have in my existence. Now, it happened prior to my existence, of course, and when I was too young to be aware of what was going on. But in the more recent past few years, I've seen us come together like never before. I didn't want to see it go. I really didn't. I saw our youth stand up. I saw them speak. I saw them stand still. I saw them say, we are here. I saw Black Lives Matter in places that I never thought I would see it, because of the voice that we have, because of the stand that we took, and because of the younger generation that woke up some of those in my generation and gave and made us feel empowered to do so. I think there's strength in having faith and having hope. I think there definitely is, because it allows you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't look. We know what's going on. We see it every day. It's in black and white. We see it all around us. We see the plan that is in play. But I mean, when you don't have faith and you don't have hope, you give up. And I would never encourage anyone to do that. Never encourage anybody to give up. So I do feel what you're saying, and I understand your point, and I understand the frustration in it as well. I really do. But I think that it's important that, because there are a few of us, enough of us, that know what's going on and see what's going on, that we can keep talking like we are now, and we can keep doing, because what happens. What happens once the person who is unaware sees or hears us, and they say, oh, well, what are they doing? What are they doing? Hold on. Wait, I feel the same way. then they join, and then we grow in numbers, and then our voice becomes stronger. So I think as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we keep maintaining the fight, we keep maintaining our stand, we keep speaking, we keep doing. I think listen, I think that's what we have to do. I think that's how we come together. I think that's how we overcome the bad, the evil, and the wrongdoing that is being done every day and right in front of our eyes. Prince, did I lose you? I may have lost. Oh, Prince, are you still there?
I am.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. And you know what? I asked for you. Hold on one second, Prince. I'm so sorry because I'm looking at the time. Every single time I go to say something, I get carried away. And then I realize we have to take a commercial break. Prince, stay with us, okay, please? Because I want us to continue this conversation, family. You're here. I love that you are here with us and you're sharing your energy, your time, and your attention. We have to go to a break, but stay with us because when we come back, we're going to finish talking with Prince. And I believe Ann is with us if she's still there. Stay with us, okay? Because we'll be right back.
WURD Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey. Brought to you by Comcast.
As the weather gets warmer and pandemic numbers stay low, we can expect travel to be on everyone's must-do list this year. So if you are heading out of town, think about saving these things on your smartphone for safekeeping. Take pictures of your passport, driver's license, or other identification. Make sure you have digital copies of your itinerary, tickets, and reservation numbers. A photo of your credit cards and bank cards could also come in handy if your wallet is lost or stolen. Membership numbers for things like AAA and photos of your medications are also a good thing to have on hand. You can take photos of all this information and easily store it in a locked note on your smartphone or in an online folder on a service like Dropbox. But whatever you do, make sure you have all your important info stored somewhere safe before you hit the road. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at WURDradio.com.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at WURDradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. WURD's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. Center in the Park, Philadelphia is hiring a long-term care ombudsman, a director of social services and housing, and a housing counselor. The Neighborhood Progress Fund of Philadelphia is hiring a small business advisor, and the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia is hiring an economic competitiveness administrator. For more information on these jobs and many others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative. Brought to you by WURD Radio, progressive, Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. We're coming to the end of our show, so I want to give the remainder of our callers a chance to speak. Prince, I wanted to give you a moment to address the comment that was made, and then we have another caller that I'd like to take before
And
the
I'm
end of the show.
going to be quick because I want other people to get in. So
Okay.
the irony is that you were talking about Black Lives Matter. Okay, we have not benefited at all, and yet you do not see any more Black Lives Matter movements for the little things that are happening, like 500 murders in this city right here. Like the mere fact that they sent $100 million back to help the people who had people stand in their properties for the last 2 years under the pandemic. So if Black Lives Matter aren't standing up for everything that matters to Black people, then that's a fundamental problem. And I'm going to get off the line and let other people take it from here. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that. Prince, thank you for that. And you're right. Now, my comment about Black Lives Matter was that we came together as a people. Our voice was heard. That was the comment that I was making. That's a whole nother conversation about the aftermath of Black Lives Matter, what happened since the inception of it and where we are now. That's a totally different conversation. But my comment and my point was specifically about how we all came together during that time and how our voices were heard. But no, you're absolutely right, Prince. Thank you for addressing that. And are you still there? Because we would love to talk with you as well.
Hello, Carol.
Hi.
Hi. I was not going to take my conversation in this direction because really, I was really enjoying Mr. Hodges' life journey thus far and stuff. But, since it went in this direction, I do want to say this. In terms of like when Black Lives Matter had, really taken off, really because of Floyd.
George Floyd.
Right, George Floyd being murdered. And like one actor said this, he said that Black people, they should have struck while the iron was hot, during that time. And I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying when he said that. Because, see, actually, there were, some dear white people who wanted to let go of their high positions and put Black people in those positions and so forth. But it kind of reminds me of like when Travis Smiley and West, the Professor West, I forgot his whole name, but his last name, I think is West.
Yep, Cornell West.
Right. There you go, exactly. And they were trying to get Black people to have a, because like a lot of times Black people they don't collectively have an ideal of what to do, in situations. And you see it time and time again when something happens and they even ask, well, what is your agenda? What do you want? And time again, I don't hear Black people collectively saying what they want and how to move. They don't know how, And I think about it, it's not only African American people that are like that. Even the African people, they don't know how to do certain things and even develop their land and stuff like that because they look for, other people to develop their land, like the Chinese and different people. And even that happens in Jamaica because it just seems like the Black race, I don't know why, but collectively, they don't know what to do. But now, I do want to get back on this with Mr. Hodges because I enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed his conversation. You know what, Mr. Hodges, I'm impressed the fact that you never did the drugs and the drinking because the entertainment world, it is a life where that is so readily available and so forth. Because even when Whitney Houston had died, I know Celine Dion and people like Denzel Washington, they basically said when they do their work in terms of the entertainment field, when they do their work and they go home. They don't hang around because there is, a lot of, the drugs are so accessible and so forth. So I'm just impressed when you said that you never drank or did drugs. So I was impressed with that. Now, this one question, I'm going to hang up. Did you ever meet Sinbad and the guy from Hanging with Mr. Cooper? And I'm going to hang up and listen.
So that would be Sinbad and Mark Curry. Yeah. She would like to know, Terry, did you ever meet them?
Especially Sinbad.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time because I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I said I know both of them very well, but especially Sinbad. Sinbad is actually a friend.
I'm not sure. Ann, are you still there? Did you hang up? I think she did. She's you're still there. Okay. He said he knows both of them well, but Sinbad is actually a friend.
Now, Terry, in your comedy, do you curse? Because I know Sinbad didn't curse. Well, I don't think
I do, depending on if I'm doing concerts with the great artists, I do not. But if you catch me in a ghetto club, yes, I can do both.
You need to be back on. I enjoyed hearing from you.
Well, thank you, and God bless you for that.
Yeah. All right. Good night.
Thank you so much. I want to take this time out to say thank you to every single one of our callers tonight. Thank you to Ron. Thank you to Rick. Thank you to Tyrone. Thank you to Prince. And thank you to Ann. I believe that's how we do affect change. I believe that's how we do make change. You know, when we have these necessary conversations, when we talk about everything, and when we're open to hearing what one another has to say, because you know what, family, we won't always agree on everything. And I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with us disagreeing as long as we can talk it out. I mean, you never know. We might either wind up at the same destination, even during our disagreement, or we might agree to disagree and still wind up at our destination. You know, you just never know. You just never know. So I'm so grateful for the conversations. I'm grateful for those of our family members that have shared your time, your energy, and your attention with us on our socials tonight too. All of you, for this being our first show in this time slot and on our on our new schedule. I'm so glad that you obliged me, because I did ask you to get to know me better, and I asked you to allow me the opportunity to get to know you better. So I'm hoping that going forward, you'll reach out some more. You can always email me too if there's something you want to talk about, or something that you want to, you really want to dig deeply into. Let me know. Email me at loveandlife@wordradio.com. Say, Carol, I really want to talk about this, or I want to know more about that. There was, I believe it was Kevin who asked about business credit, and we were talking about that earlier. So make sure if there's something you want to know, let me know so that we can all learn some things together, because I want to educate myself as well as you, and I want you to educate me too. You know how that goes. I hate that we're coming to the close of our show. I want to say thank you to you, Terry, for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, for sharing information, for starting a necessary and a good conversation. I always enjoy the conversations that you and I have. As I was telling you, you already know that. You already know that.
Thank you for having me. I want to end my conversation by saying that we don't have to reinvent the wheel in terms of Black unity. Just look at where our grandparents and great-grandparents, where they came from, and just do what they did. And what did they do? They had Black love. We don't have to sit around and try to figure out what we need to do. We just need to understand where we came from, and that'll figure it out.
There was a lot of acceptance back then. I know we've gotten a little far from acceptance. Well, this conversation, we can go on and on and on. We'll be
yeah, I know.
We'll be off of the show talking about this family. I want to make sure that you know that Love and Life will be right here. We're going to have some of our other former guests, yes, that did say that correctly. Some of our other former guests come back as well as Terry did, to talk about some of the things that we talked about that everybody wasn't able to participate in the conversation about. So we can all, talk about some things together. You know how that goes. I want to thank you to the entire WURD staff, especially and particularly to Miss Kayla J, who I'm telling you, she's been an angel. So thank you so much for all the help that you've given me, to Niall, to Tiffany, Jamira, again, the entire staff. Know that you can catch me right here on WURD Monday through Thursday nights, 7 until 9 p.m. That's Eastern time. on WURD, WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. God willing, I will see you all tomorrow.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your 4WURD membership today at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I bet